Hi, I'm Glenn. This is going to be a quick little intro to using the Unity's generic rig with root motion. So let's start with our character and add the generic rig. And we'll give him his avatar, which we'll create from this model. Make sure that the root joint is selected. That's the base joint of the model. And now we have a avatar associated with the character model. Now we come to the idle animation, and we need to make the rigs match. And instead of creating from this model, we're going to copy from other avatar, which is going to come from our character that we just created. And let's go back to dodge, or let's go to dodge right, which is the next animation, and set the rig to be the same. There we go. Now we'll take a look at the animation. First off, let's just take a quick check to make sure that the settings are correct for root motion. First off, this is default with Unity, unless the animation has been used for something else. Just need to make sure this is what they are set to. The root transform rotation needs to be set to root node rotation. Root transform position Y needs to be set to original. And root transform position XZ needs to be set to root node position. Now let's play the animation. So he jumps to the right. But as he does that, he's also sort of moving in a circle. And that makes it a pretty good animation to test whether root motion is working or not in-game. So now we take our Chili Shaman and we put him in the scene. And he has an animator component already on him, but there's no controller attached, so that's what we need to do next. I've made one already, I've named it Shaman. So if we go into the animator controller window, you'll see it's blank. And I'll add my idle animation first. And since it's the first animation that I've added, it's already connected to play as soon as the animation is started. And next we will do dodge right. I'll make a very basic connection to dodge right. Now I'm going to repeat that a couple of times so that it'll be a bit of a looping animation of him doing this over and over again. And then back to the to the idle. So now he'll do idle, he'll jump 3 times, and then he'll repeat the process. And if we go back to the animation, the character, and we look in the inspector, we'll see that he still doesn't have the controller attached, so we'll add it. And then we'll push play. So he does his idle, does 3 dodges, and then he has idle again, and then he'll do 3 more dodges. And since there's no collider and no rigid body, he's slowly sinking into the ground. But otherwise the root motion is working, it's just he's sinking into the ground. So let's go back to the inspector and add another component, which will be in physics, rigid body. And just for this case, I'm going to turn gravity off. And under constraints, I'm going to turn freeze X, Y, and Z rotations. And let's see what we get. So the animation, he's doing the slightly correct animations, but it's just a little off. And this usually happens when you add rigid body to the character. It just kind of throws the root motion off just a little bit. Sometimes it's more, sometimes it's less. And the way to fix that, it's quite simple. You just go back into the animator component, look under the update mode, and instead of normal, you want to change that to animate physics. So now when we play it, so now he's doing pretty much what he did in the first time we played it without rigid body. So he's back to still sinking in the ground, but he's at least doing his circle properly. So let's just fix that by adding a capsule collider, also under physics. And we'll just click that so we can edit it. Can make sure his feet are good. Make him a little wider on the front and back. Now let's play him and see how he does. So now he's not sinking to the ground, and he's doing the correct animations for the root motion. And that's pretty much it to setting up a character using Unity's generic rig with root motion. I hope that helps, and I'll see you next time.